Hey folks, it's Tommy, the Appalachian Stacker. It's been a few weeks. I took ill about 3 weeks ago, and it was one of those where the only thing that felt worse than laying down was standing up. I had COVID. In spite of the fact that I've had the shots, there's that new variant that started kicking around last year. And so, anyway, no fun at all. But I'm back. I wanted to talk a little bit about getting the best price if you're buying metal online. And this is something that I do every time that I buy. Some of you guys might be ahead of me on this. I've been doing this before, but I'm going to put it out there anyway, just in case, because it's one of these things I figured out through experience, trial, and error. And so I thought I would share it with you guys. I talked in a previous video about, we already know that typically the larger a bar that you purchase when you're dealing with bars, and I'm strictly going to talk about silver bars today, but everything that I talk about getting the best price applies to gold and silver and whatever, if you're buying whatever form it is, American Eagles, Maple Leafs, whether you're buying bullion coins, pre-33, or you're buying gold and silver online. So we'd already talked about, and I think it's very clear that the larger the bar you buy, typically the lower the spot price, the premium over spot is. So typically it's much cheaper per ounce to buy a 100-ounce bar than it is to buy a 1-ounce bar. And then as it gets larger, for the most part, it gets cheaper for the price over spot per ounce that you get. The exception I'm going to point out right now is the kilo bars and the 100-ounce bars. And what I have noticed with these is that if you're shopping online, now I can't say with my local coin dealer that's true because he doesn't have 100-ounce bars very often. And I think I've told you guys before, my local is 2 hours away, so it's not really that local. So I do a lot of buying online. And typically you'll find that if you check, a lot of times I find that the 1 kilo bars are cheaper over when you're looking at the over spot per ounce than the 100-ounce bars. And but there's some exceptions to all of these that I want to talk about today. And it's about how to make sure if you're buying online, you're getting the best price every time. What I do is when I've got some cash together, whether, used to be I would buy monthly. I had a set amount of dollars that I would spend every month. Sometimes I'd wait and do it over 2 months. Sometimes I might do it every other week, depending on how much I was buying, what size. So, but one of the things that I've learned is that if you're looking at some of the most familiar online gold and silver sellers, and I'll throw out some names for you: APMEX, JB Bullion, Bullion Exchanges, Provident Metals. There's Buy Gold and Silver Currency, or whatever it is. It's BSA, Buy Gold, BG, SAC. If you've ever seen that one before, there's one. There's MBAR Coins, Liberty Coin. These are all places that I've dealt with before. Then Scottsdale Mint I bought from directly. So anyway, where I'm going with all of this is that the thing you'll find if you go to their websites is that each of those vendors are sellers are also selling on eBay. And I found an interesting thing before is that I have noticed that sometimes the best price isn't at the website. Sometimes the best price is if you buy it from them on eBay. Okay. And of course, if you're buying online, there's another price related issue that comes into play is if you're buying online on someone's website. I'll say bullion exchanges because that's a place that I deal with quite often. And that they have 3 different prices that you'll see. There's the price for credit card, there's a price for crypto, and then there's a price for a wire transfer or an AC, like electronic check. And of course, that when you're buying on a website, when you use the credit card, it's going to be the most expensive. Crypto is in between. And then if you're doing a wire transfer or electronic check, that will give you usually the lowest over spot price for the item you're purchasing. Okay. Now, let's go back to eBay. Is when you look at eBay, eBay doesn't care. You're using a credit card. And oddly enough, I have seen sometimes I would go to Liberty Coins website looking at a 1 kilo silver bar, and then I would go to eBay and I would see that the price on eBay for that bar is even cheaper than the price if you use an electronic check. Now, it's not always like that, okay? But I've seen it happen quite often to the point where it's worth every time that I'm going to make a purchase to look and see, what the prices are. The next thing is that I have also noticed on a day-to-day basis that how much you're paying over spot for a particular size bar, whether it's secondary market or whether it's new, is that it fluctuates from day to day. And I want to talk about a couple that I bought recently. And one of them was that I bought this bar in January, and on the day I bought it, I got it for 48 cents an ounce over spot. The day before, it had been over $1.19. The day after I bought it, this was at Liberty Coin. The day after I bought it, it was like 84 cents. And so what I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen a pattern with this. I'm assuming with these large dealers that are, selling, like they're such a small markup for places like bullion exchanges and Liberty Coin, it's that they're doing volume. And what I suspect is it may have something to do with inventory. I can't answer that question. It probably also has to do maybe with how much they paid for that particular group of bars when they bought it, when they did a buyback. So I'm sure that probably comes into play. Could have to do with inventory. There's a lot of reasons why this would happen. But what I can tell you is it happens, and it happens all the time. And it makes it worth enough. Well, it's worth my time, and it's be worth your time to go and check these different websites. If you're going to buy a kilo bar that day, is look and see how much they're going for on eBay at the big 6 or 8 bullion dealers, and then go to their website or websites and see what you can find. For example, today I noticed that I was looking at some American Gold Eagles, and this was with Bullion Exchange. And I saw that if you were doing an electronic check, you could get an eagle today for about $82 over spot for a 1 ounce gold eagle. But even better, for $64 over spot, you could have gotten their deal of the day was a 2024 1 ounce gold maple leaf. And so I've noticed a lot lately that the over spot for gold, even though gold has went up, is the premium than you would have when gold was at $1,980 an ounce. And it's just that because I've seen, you've all seen that when you're buying gold eagles, I've seen the premiums to be as high as $130 to $140 an ounce over the current spot price. And so that's a lot. But I've noticed that right now, I haven't seen anybody that's asking more than $100 an ounce over spot for 1 ounce eagle. So, and like I said, today with bullion exchanges, I saw that the maple leaf was really, really low. I think, like I said, I think it was 62. You might have to, I think that's what I told you, and I believe that's what it was. It was around that area. It was definitely under $65 over spot for the maple leaf. And it was under, at one point, it was under $80 over spot for the eagle. But like I said, I've seen them move around day in. The next day it's going to change. So it's worth your time to go through and look at all of the onlines if you're dealing with an online vendor. I love using my local shop, but like I said, it's 2 hours away, so it's not that local for me. So going back to, again, so just to go back, I know that typically I've said that when you look at your silver bars, we know that it's cheaper over spot per ounce to get a 100 ounce bar. But a lot of times I've seen that the kilos are just as low or lower. And then there can always be exceptions to this if you go and check all of the different bullion dealers. if you are an online buyer. So not trying to steer you away from your locals, just saying that if you're going to do this anyway, it's something you might want to look into. So last thing I wanted to finish with was that it's great. I know that silver futures for next month are up 3.2% for April for what they were over March. And so that's a good sign for silver. Silver typically lags behind gold when gold goes up. Usually, if it's with the market conditions affecting both metals, as they usually do with silver kind of following gold, is that I think that we're probably going to see gold continue to go up over the next few weeks unless something weird happens. We've got Wednesday, so Jerome Powell comes out and see if he sees a shadow. We'll know what's going to happen. Probably not until June now. So we know that the rates aren't going to be dropping anytime soon. So that's not going to bode that well for silver. The dollar is been a little bit stronger than it was. That doesn't do well for silver. Yeah, silver is pretty much it's holding over $25 an ounce. It's still far undervalued when we're compared to gold. Right now, if silver was behaving like it usually does, where it takes about 60 ounces of silver to buy an ounce of gold, instead right now it's at 87. If it was at 60, I think silver would be at like $35 an ounce, somewhere about. So I still think silver is a good bargain. I've taken a break from buying right now. I've been buying nonstop since, well, even before, but I sold in 2011. And so I started buying it in 2012. And, I've kind of gotten to a point where I don't want to hold any more silver because when I look at our total portfolio, I think I've got enough metal in there to serve its purpose. So I'm just kind of waiting right now, but love to hear from you guys, to hear what you're doing. It's good to hear from you. I'm going to do something a little more in depth next time. I just needed to get in here and get myself started again and talking about one way that you might be able to save money when you're buying bullion. So folks, I really appreciate you checking in with me. I appreciate hearing from you guys. A lot of you are kind of have kept me going as I've been doing this. So thanks so much for all the comments. There's so many of you guys. I really appreciate it. So thanks so much. I would also say that if you guys enjoy this content, I would really appreciate a thumbs up because it helps to get it in front of other people. And then last but not least, if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. So anyway, folks, this is Tommy. You guys take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.